Hello everyone and welcome to another Starcraft 2 replay. This one's going to take place on Steppes of War. I'm Ketroc the Red Terran spawning in the top right, and Simon the Blue's Protoss is spawning in the bottom left. Now, what I'm going to do for this video is I'm going to go over the build order for my Ketroc Fast Expand. I know I have a lot of new subscribers as of late, a lot from that link that went on Reddit where I kind of reversed the proxy cheese of the Protoss back on himself. And there was a lot of comments both on YouTube and on Reddit, kind of in the neighborhood of, were you going for a 15 CC before barracks? I mean, are you nuts? That'll never work versus anything. So this is actually my standard build order versus both Protoss and Zerg, where I go second command center prior to barracks. And I understand if you want to criticize it, but what I'll ask you to do is just try to keep an open mind, and I'll try to be as honest about the build as possible. I'm not going to try to sell it. I'm going to talk about both its advantages and disadvantages to a typical Terran opener. And then, yeah, so I think the structure I'll do is I'll just kind of go over the build order first, and then this is a pretty good match where Simon tries to like just blast right through me because I'm going for this such an opener. And then afterwards I'm going to talk a little bit about the advantages and disadvantages, especially in the metagame and doing something so unique. And then yeah, in the description I'll post a bunch of links to different sorts of things you might face versus it, like Bailing Bus or Void Wave Rush and whatnot, and you can see how it fares against those things. So let's get right into it. So first of all, I'm going to start off by saying you want non-stop SCV production right up until 18. And then you got to pause it for a little bit. So once you reach 9 of 11 supply, you want to queue up your next SCV to the front line. And that's going to be building your supply depot. And it's good to have it as part of the wall. On certain maps, it really matters which corner you put it in. On Steppes of War, it doesn't matter much. I like to just keep it on the inside. Inside meaning like the top, just because it's a little less likely to get picked off if it's up here rather than down here. And that will be the weakness in your wall. And then from this point forward, you're just pumping SCVs and you're waiting to build your command center. So right after supply depot, it's straight to command center. We got Probe Scout coming in from Simon. And I should be moving out now. Yeah, a little bit late. You probably want to move out around 310 or so, as that'll time it well. And a little advantage here. Looks like Simon's just trying to block me from placing on my wall, but I have no intention of placing there anyways. So there's my command center. Now your next step is you want to go 2 refineries as soon as you can afford it, of course without cutting SCV production. This replay may not be an example of like perfect execution of this build order, but it's close enough. So refinery, and you're going to want to get 5 on gas in total as soon as possible. So you want to get 3 on this gas as soon as it finishes, and then 2 on this gas. And now here is where you want to stop. Once you're at 18 of 19, don't queue up your 19th, just leave it at 18 of 19. So after your 2 refineries, you want to get a barracks as part of your wall off. And when you get 3 on gas and 2 on that gas, and then your next objective is to wall off with an engineering bay. And of course, since I'm doing a fortress fast expand, you need to get an engineering bay. It's a prerequisite. And then once you have all those buildings down, now you can queue up your 19th SCV, and I even queue up my 20th. You are going to be supply capped here. It's okay that you don't have a supply depot going down because the second command center is going to give you a bunch of supply in a minute. And you can see how well this is going to time. This command center is going to finish right around the same time as this engineering bay, which is going to be right around the same time you hit 150 gas. So you immediately got your prerequisites and you got your resources to start the planetary fortress. Now this is the one thing I am worried about. This is why I don't do any early scouting. This is why I like to get the command center up as soon as possible, because on a small map like Steppes of War, if he chrono boosts out his first zealot and goes straight for this SCV, he can pick it off before your command center finishes. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to pull 3 SCVs just to make sure I get this command center finished. Because if I can't finish it, I can't upgrade to a fortress, and if I can't upgrade to a fortress, that's going to be killer on me. However, the one making my barracks popped out on this side, and he's not chasing it, so instead I'll just use these SCVs to repair, and use that barracks SCV to finish the command center. And there we have it, fortress is ready to go. So this is about as fast as a zealot rush as you'll see without it being proxy. You only need 1 SCV for each zealot, because 1 SCV repairs slightly faster than 1 zealot attacks. Keep in mind, if the building is burning down, then it favors a little more towards the zealots if you're doing even numbers. Now what you want to do is get down a bunker as soon as possible. That's why I brought up the 3rd SCV for, but since he has 3 zealots, I switched it up to repair instead. I'm going to pull another SCV to get bunker up. I will suggest always putting the bunker here, lifting off your barracks and putting the bunker in its stead. But if you're under attack like this, just put the bunker anywhere, because you need it anywhere just to keep you from dying to a stalker follow-up. If there is no pressure, put the bunker right here, as it works much better versus stalkers, as they'll cover the entire bottom of the ramp. And now he's working on the fortress. And now he's going to pull back. So sending out those SCVs is my mainers, the ones I had repairing. And now I'm going to lift this barracks and get the bunker set up in the correct position. Misrallied Zealot actually gets a little lucky, finds an opening while I'm doing this. Once I saw him pull back, I thought I was safe to do this, but I guess not. And notice I didn't cancel this bunker. You actually save a little bit of money if you just finish it then salvage it. That way you don't lose the 25%. And now we're in pretty good shape. Now, after you get your barracks and first marine out, your next objective is your orbital. If you're not under pressure, it's a little easier to pull this off. You just go lift, bunker, SCV, orbital. And then as soon as you got your orbital done, you want to build your 2nd and 3rd barracks immediately. This probably isn't the best example of the continuation to this build order, just because the pressure kind of messed up my build, but yeah, definitely late on the 2nd and 3rd barracks. You should also, after you get your fortress done, you want to pull some guys off gas. It's okay to pull up a little bit of gas, because for me, I like having some pulled gas for later on. But you probably want to get your gas count down to, say, maybe 3 on gas, at least until you get your 3 barracks down. And you're loading up this bunker with marines. And that's fine even versus stalkers. As long as you can see the bottom of the ramp and you have an STV here to repair, you're in good shape. So not my best macro game. Normally I'd really be pumping out units at this point. This is also the point where you have to know what your opponent's up to, because if he's doing some sort of void ray switch, which he may have been since he wasn't spending any gas early, you need to know whether you want to start pumping marauders or continue pumping marines and get stim. So it looks like I'm still playing in the dark. I'm probably going to spend my next energy on scan. There we go. And now I see 3 warp gates, so I immediately know it's not going to be void rays, so I can switch it up to marauders. If you spot a 4 warp gate or a 3 warp gate robo, instead of teching towards medevacs like I'm doing here, you can just throw it in a 4th barracks, because you basically got the game wrapped up. If you survive, you'll be so far ahead economically. So just get a 4th barracks just to ensure that you survive. So this is like a pretty nifty blink stalker rush. He was able to do it without a robotics facility by using the zealots to see the high ground and then blinking in with the stalkers. And this will cause me a little bit of problems in that I had my 2nd and 3rd barracks down pretty late. So bunker goes down. SCVs I pulled in to repair the bunker didn't get there in time. This is actually a pretty bad map, as your front line's very far from your mineral line. Another map is a lot closer. Unfortunately, I had these guys in auto repair. You don't want that when you're attacking. But I do have the better economy though, so I am going to be able to constantly reproduce. And immediately resealing this this entrance. And that last reinforcements of stalkers is probably a dumb idea. Oh, did I say last? Here comes some more. So there you have it, a Zealot Rush followed by a kind of interesting Blink Stalker push. Yeah, filling this bunker with Marauders. I don't want Stalkers being able to walk up for free anymore. And yeah, we're in pretty good shape. One thing I did do, which is specific to this map, is I got the range upgrade for Fortress. Just because the ramp is so close, if you get the range upgrade, it allows your Fortress to really wail on the majority of this ramp. But versus Protoss and any other map, yeah, don't worry about getting range upgrade from Engineering Bay. It's not worth it. Also on other maps, this one SCV I leave here to repair usually holds the bunker long enough for me to pull more SCVs. So if he tries to snipe the bunker, it stays live usually long enough for me to get more SCVs there to keep it alive. But just like I said, on this map, it's just a really far run distance to your front line. But we bring up the income tab, you can see I'm well ahead. Ahead in harvester counts, ahead in base count. Got some upgrades going, which he doesn't. And he's just starting his expansion now. This missile turret here, you may ask why I'm getting it, because you can see he's got the Twilight Council and getting the Dark Shrine, but I have scouted none of that. Well, basically when you're in a spot like I am here, where I know I have the game won, I'm so far ahead of him economically, you just don't want to die to something stupid. So think to yourself, okay, what kind of like weird thing can he pull out of his hat that would just catch me off guard and kill me? And you want to just block for those things. So I was thinking, okay, he might follow up with DTs, and that's why I got this. And if I was actually thinking more, which I wasn't, I would have also known he had the Twilight Council because he had Blink, which means, you know, he's already halfway teched towards Dark Templar or High Templar. So a pretty sweet spot for a missile turret. It's very safe, it defends your ramp, and defends the majority of my expansion. So I'm quite happy with that. I like to leave this bunker up, especially when I'm not actually low in minerals. In fact, I'm having trouble spending my minerals right now. This could be part of the reason right here. I never actually populated this Vespian. Here come the DTs, they fall pretty quickly. And now that I know there's DTs in the field, I'll just get one more missile turret just to cover the remainder of my base. Same time, my plan right now is basically Marines and Marauders with a handful of Ghosts and a handful of Medevacs. And this missile turret did come in handy because he was thinking the same thing. He was thinking maybe planting a DT here or taking out this refinery, and that shut down that idea.